Hey everyone, I have a bunch of things to announce today. First of all, I finished week 4 grading earlier this week, but my regular job was super busy. So I am not getting to shout outs until Sunday, but here we are. I wanted to do some shout outs for the discussion board, to Jean for awesome feedback to peers with great suggestions, to Raquel for amazing details in your initial post, just wow. Kim rocked the initial post with a truly from the heart post and also giving us part of her experience in her examples. Really nailed the post. Ariel absolutely knocked the discussion post out of the park. Lots of resources and great feedback to peers, and great job finding some amazing solutions to getting our schools up to speed on trauma-informed approaches. And our other Savage, Laretha, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Such a cool presentation. And just when I thought that went above and beyond, I saw all your feedback and interaction and dropping absolute gems everywhere. Donna, great feedback and more feedback to help your classmates grow particularly. So that was our shout outs from the discussion board. And then we have some proposal implementation plans to shout out. Jean, again, awesome details, solid plan. Parent education in the early years, I think, is amazing. Nasia, and I hope I'm saying your name right too, knocked it out of the park. Great stats to support each well-organized area of her early ed and trauma-informed practices implementation plan. Love it, love it, love it. And Leah, by far the biggest project, taking on increasing access to healthcare with the trauma-informed lens. It's a huge project, but it's ambitious and amazing. And Crystal, as always, creative graphics to explain each part of her proposal. So those were my shout outs, and I am really, this class is, you guys are taking it above and beyond, and a lot of you are truly awesome students, and I am enjoying having you in this class. We are into week 6, starting tomorrow, Monday. So I cannot believe it, and I will be working to grade your week 5. You had your last knowledge check this past week, week 5, so you won't have any more knowledge checks for the next 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. The next 2 weeks will be a little different as we finish off the course. So for week 6, you have a discussion board with groups A and B again. So you'll have a group designated. You will work on section 6 of your proposal. You'll also do a brief presentation of your proposal. Well, I say brief, it's 5 to 10 minutes. And you'll also peer review your presentations. So this is a big week in that you're kind of finalizing a lot of your proposal. There are only 2 readings and resources, which are about trauma-informed workplaces and the principles that go into a trauma-informed workplace. So those will help you with the discussion post, so make sure you do read those before you jump in, although a lot of this is going to feel like it is a review of everything we've been doing all along, so it shouldn't be hard since you all have been nailing it. So on the discussion board, it's about you being a consultant who's asked to help a mid-sized company adopt trauma-informed approaches to improve their workplace. So you're either going to be in group A or group B, and you're going to be talking about that implementation of trauma-informed approaches either way. And then again, you're commenting on 2 folks. You may only be able to comment in your group, and if that is the case, please don't worry about it, because the discussion boards have been a bit of a challenge this block. So there are a couple resources again that you can look at for this. And so once you finish the discussion post, you're going to move on to your grant proposal. And this is where you're going to provide a project title and abstract, which is a short summary of your project. And the title should be, to do, a lot of you have kind of already designated a title, but you want to be creative with it and make it stand out. So you can add a little pizzazz to it if you want. And so that abstract, which is a summary, only needs to be 250 words. So you will get that done. And then the next part is the part that takes more detail, which is a 5 to 10 minute multimedia presentation of your proposal. So it should include all the key sections that you've worked on. So again, this isn't new work because you're using what you've done all these weeks leading up to this week, but you're putting it into a video, and that can be a voiceover PowerPoint, which some of you have already been doing. So you may just be adding to that or tweaking that to finalize it. And or it could be a short video presentation, and you can be creative with that, and you can use Kaltura, or you can use Kaltura, Google Slides, any of those types of things. I actually like recording stuff on my phone and Snapchat like this, and then putting it into iMovie and YouTube, but it's up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with to load in. So you're going to do that video, which will be 5 to 10 minutes. Or again, it's a slide with voiceover, whichever you prefer. And then the last thing you're going to do this week is you're going to comment on your peers' presentations. So you're going to give each other feedback. And I will say, I don't need to tell you a lot about giving feedback because you guys have been doing an awesome job on the feedback and discussion posts. So I'm pretty sure with the project, you should be great with the feedback. Specific, positive, encouraging. You can ask questions, but make sure it's meaningful feedback to help your classmates and to help you grow. So that is week 6, which is a big week, but again, we only have 2 weeks left. So this is probably, sometimes this feels bigger than week 7 because week 7 is really just submitting your final proposal. And I feel like week 6 ends up being the bigger week for everybody. All right, so that should round us off. A couple of you have some things to get into me. Make sure you do that. And I hope that everybody has an amazing week.